JD Vance, Donald Trump's pick to be his vice president, said some terrible things about Trump just a few years ago. In fact, he was known as a never Trumper. And in a recent interview with Donald Trump sitting right next to JD Vance, Donald Trump was finally asked, why did you pick JD Vance as your running mate? And since Donald Trump can't go anywhere and JD Vance is sitting right there next to him, wait until you see the awkward answer from Donald Trump. It's coming right up. Ever since Joe Biden announced that he would not be the Democratic Party's nominee in November, the right has been losing their minds. They feel robbed. They spend all this time focusing on Joe Biden, and now they need to come up with a brand new strategy to attack Kamala Harris. And Fox News has been working on overdrive to try to agitate their audience and fearmonger about what's going to come with the Kamala Harris presidency. Listen to these pathetic talking points from Sean Hannity.
Now, if Kamala gets her way, you will no longer get to enjoy private health insurance or gas-powered vehicles or plastic straws. I don't know about you. I hate the paper straws. It'll ruin any drink.
I'm sorry, but these are the most pathetic complaints ever. You're not going to be able to use plastic straws. That old dusty talking point is not going to motivate people to come out and vote. Sean Hannity must be getting desperate for material. And in a sign of just how terrified they are of this new energized Democratic base with Kamala at the top of the ticket, Sean Hannity prepares the Fox News audience for some bad news. Listen to this.
All right, buckle up, because Democrats, the state-run media mob, they're now pitching Kamala as the second coming of Jesus, which I can assure you, she is not. The puff pieces, they're already being written. The accolades, they are pouring in from every radical, democratic, leftist, socialist, Marxist in the country. The phony polls, I promise you, will follow, showing she is energizing Democrats. She might even be beating Donald Trump in a swing state or two. Or maybe three.
You can just feel how down Sean Hannity is. The right has been caught completely flat-footed by this move by Joe Biden. And by the way, this was a very selfless move by Joe Biden to pass the torch and allow for the next generation to take over. Not a lot of people step down from power when they get it, especially the most powerful office in the world, the President of the United States. So Joe Biden, in a final act, shall we say, showing what character and class looks like. And Fox News is freaking out. They know that the polls are about to change dramatically, and all they can do is prepare their audience for the onslaught. And this is quite the change for Fox News, who usually are only telling their audience good news. Hey, Donald Trump's going to totally destroy Joe Biden. Donald Trump's going to sail to victory. We're going to take the Senate. We're going to keep the House. This is usually the messaging from Fox News. So for Sean Hannity to feel the need to get ahead of some polls that are going to be in favor of the Democrats, you know things are looking grim over there on the right. That leads us to the joint interview with Donald Trump and JD Vance, where Donald Trump is talking about the shooting that happened at his rally. And JD Vance laughs at one of his jokes, but it's the most forced laugh I've seen in a while. Watch this.
Did we have enough people? Why didn't we have enough people? Somebody said that a lot of people were put on Biden's detail. The problem is Biden doesn't draw anybody. He draws flies. He draws nobody. And you know, you don't need very many people for that, because he does not draw. He'll have 30 people show up, and we have 55, 60,000 people show up.
So awkward. JD Vance playing the role as stupid sidekick. And what is he there, just to laugh at Donald Trump's unfunny jokes? This guy's a clown. Even he realized it wasn't funny and stopped laughing after a moment when he didn't get Donald Trump's approval. That led to the following exchange, where Donald Trump pretended he had read JD Vance's book and understood the working man's plight.
And he wrote a book which was a classic, as you know, and it was all about the working men and women and how they aren't being treated fairly, and he was right about that, and I understood that maybe better than anyone else, and we just have had a great relationship.
Donald Trump has nothing in common with the working men and women of America. When it comes to unfair treatment, it's people like him and organizations like his that are ripping off people and treating them unfairly, not the other way around. And this leads us to the last clip I want to share with you guys, where Donald Trump is finally asked, why did you pick JD Vance as your running mate? Remember, JD Vance has said some terrible things about Donald Trump in the past, so it's super awkward that he's sharing the ticket with him now. Donald Trump cannot go anywhere when asked this question, and watch JD Vance sitting there awkwardly as Donald Trump answers. Check this out.
Why did you pick JD Vance?
We've always had a good chemistry, and originally JD was probably not for me, but he didn't know me. And then when we got to know each other, he liked me maybe more than anybody liked me, and he would stick up for me, and he'd fight for the worker as much as I fight for the worker. We just had an automatic chemistry.
So it sounds like JD Vance was the one who kissed up to Donald Trump the most. It's so pathetic. JD Vance was somebody who was known as a never Trumper and said terrible things about Donald Trump. And to do this complete reversal, and you can just see it in his eyes that he's so desperate for power that he's willing to say anything and do anything. But I tell you, this Donald Trump JD Vance ticket is so bland and boring now compared to the energized Kamala Harris presidential ticket. And we don't even have a VP pick yet. The left is so fired up to get out there and defeat this MAGA movement. It's like a freight train is coming for these guys. And there's only 100 or so days until the election, and you know they're freaking out because they've spent the last couple of years attacking Joe Biden nonstop. They were not anticipating that Joe Biden would pull out of the race and hand it over to Kamala Harris. They've got to come up with a whole new playbook, and they are scrambling. But we're going to keep the pressure up because these are some slippery snakes, and they will do anything for power, as you can see in these clips here. So stay positive, get out there, and let's get to work, folks. Come on, we got this.